Okay, so let me make sure. Yeah. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to chop hair. It's really simple and easy. Once you do it once, you can do it with almost any hair mesh. Sometimes, though, you'll have to do some extra work. That's more advanced stuff that I will save for another time. But for this time, what you're going to do is open up TSR Workshop. It's free to download on the Sims resource, and then you click on Create a New Project, New Import, and then you're going to browse to your file. Make sure that this says Package or Sims 3 Pack, whatever it is. You need to have downloaded your original file in order to edit it, obviously. So I'm going to use this Reese Hair N1 EA Control Adult Female to explain this. Hopefully it goes well. Once you get through the prompts, it's going to load for a while because hair takes a really long time. Okay, so once it's loaded, as long as you at least understand a little bit how to use TSRW, you can do this. It's super easy. You'll also need some sort of image program that can handle DDS files. I use Photoshop. GIMP also has the ability to do that, but it's free, whereas Photoshop is not. Yeah, so once you have everything ready to go, then all you do is click on the texture tab here in TSRW, and most hairs that are created by outside creators and not made by EA will it'll have all this extra stuff, meaning that at one point it was hair that had a hat on it, but since there's no hat on it, obviously it leaves all this extra data, and it's super helpful when you're making your own hair to clone from one that had a hat, because you can put in all these extra textures. Okay, but back to this, what we're doing here. You're going to open the Hair Textures tab, and then you'll see Control Map, and what a control map does is controls the colors of the hair. Red for highlights, black for the base color, green for, or no, red for the roots, green is highlights, and blue is the tips of the hair. Or you can do it however you want. You could draw circles in it and it'd still be the same. And then diffuse map, also called the texture, is where you'll see the actual hair texture. So in order to chop the hair, the first thing I do is click on this edit button, and then I export the diffuse. It helps to have folders lined up. Looks like I already tried this one, so I'm going to export that. Then once you have that done, oh gosh, I always have so much stuff in here. Oh, I haven't used this computer in such a long time. Sorry about that. Okay. Chops. Okay. Helps if you're really organized. Unlike me, I just have a bunch of stuff everywhere. Okay, so here what you see is the texture. And this is a really simple one. It's just a square of hair. And then in Photoshop, I'm not sure about GIMP. I've never used GIMP, so I don't know that much about it. Of course, I lost my layers. I could not tell you how to. Why won't this go away? This is so annoying. Okay. I don't really know how to tell you where to look for these things, but what you're gonna want to look for is this panel. It'll say RGB, and then it'll show red, green, blue, and then alpha. That's the layer that we want. What an alpha is where the white is what comes through on the mesh, and where the black is what's blocked out. So all hair starts off, well, most hair starts off as rectangular planes, and then each plane is assigned to one of these spots on the white, and then where it's white it shows the plane, and where it's black it hides the plane, so you get the sense of hair. And it's the same on clothing too. It's a little bit different though, because on clothing you can't have a completely invisible mesh, except in certain cases, but for the most part it's pretty different. So anyway, you're going to select your alpha layer, and then I take this selection tool, and really, like, literally all you have to do is select the area you want to make shorter, and then I use Control T or Command T, I'm pretty sure Command T on Mac, the transform tool, and then all I do is just slide it up, and then it's shorter in this alpha layer, and then I just do that for every piece of hair. And I mean, like, this is the most simplest case that you get lucky. There's no mesh editing, and there's nothing crazy about it. So then I'm just going to hide my RGB, and you'll see here that a small, you might not be able to see it on the video, but there's a small, like, dark line here. You're just going to want to take a white paintbrush and just paint over the line, so you don't have any weird spots in your hair where you can see through the, like, it'll make it so you can see through parts of it. And I'm just doing this really sloppy for the sake of video, but if I were you, I'd take a really careful time of editing those lines out, because you can see them, and it's pretty weird. So what you're going to do is save as, and you can save over your original if you're comfortable with that. You're going to, when this, the DDS format pops up, you're going to want to make sure it's in DXT5 interpolated alpha, and that's going to make sure that you get all the right stuff going in there, right information. And then you're just going to import your texture back into TSRW, and you say yes because it's just going to go over it. And that is the simplest thing. I mean, that hair is chopped. Now, if you want to retexture it, that's a little bit extra, but that's just like copying and pasting a texture onto your current alpha and just lining up the bottom edges of where the hair ends with where your texture ends. Same with the control. Like right now, I'll change these colors. You'll be able to see the difference. So if I make the root bright red, the base color white, the highlight like a lime green, and the tips blue, you'll see that there is no blue here, and that's because the alpha stops before it can reach blue where it should be on the control. So in order to combat that, you would just go in and shorten the control if you're comfortable with the control. I personally am not a fan of this type of highlights. I mean, it's EA highlights, but I don't know, it just doesn't suit what I like, so I call it a mask. It's also control, I don't know, there's different names for it. So you just export that and open it, and then I mean, the simplest thing is just to shorten it. You'll probably have some trouble with blending if you have a really complicated texture. It can get really annoying with the highlights and stuff. Like when I did the dreadlocks hair that I just released, I had to draw them myself because there's, you know, there was no colors on that. So, goodness, this is all so old. I don't even know where I put hair. Okay, here's one I did a long time ago. Goodness. Okay, so here's the texture I like to use. You're welcome to open up any of my hairs and take them out. I mean, I kind of made it, but it's more Anubis control, and then I edited it to my liking. Same with the texture. The texture was a free texture from Pooklet before they retired. So Okay, we know that the hair alpha looks like this, but in order to ensure like the most accuracy, what I usually do is just paste the new control on this, and I pasted 4 layers of it, and then I'm just gonna grab layers and transform tool to make them as long as I need them to be, and you just kind of like line them up with roots and tips. It's pretty straightforward, and you just keep doing that until all of your alphas are covered. And since all of the alpha is the same length, you don't really have to worry about too much inconsistency between the colors. It's pretty easy to just snap it into place. And I mean, it's pretty, I don't know, it's like monotonous, tedious, annoying work sometimes. But you can get some really cool stuff out of chopped hair. Okay, so this one's a little shorter. Okay, so, and then I just flattened the image. I mean, I didn't even paint the background. But since the hair alpha doesn't go beyond this point, you don't really have to worry about all this empty space down here. Save it as my mask. Replace it. Oh, picky thing. Okay. Oh my goodness, make me close everything. Okay, save it. Now in this case, you don't need an alpha for a mask. It just kind of makes extra data and makes your file size larger, so you don't even need to bother with an alpha. The times you do want an alpha is when you have areas you don't want to be colored, and that is only useful in hats or clothing or shoes, stuff that, you know, the hair, you want all the hair to have color all the time. So, and it's going to warn you about the alpha information, but don't worry about that. And then once it's done saving, you can just go in and import your new mask or control. Yes. And see, now you can see a clear distinction between all of the colors. They're all there, which is great because that's what we wanted. So that's basically it. I mean, the only other step would be to change the texture, but you just follow the same procedure as you would with the control. Super easy. And then this is it. And then what I would do as a precaution is go into the project section and just check that all of your categories and stuff are right. Sometimes people forget to check all the boxes, like valid for random if you want it to pop up on NPCs. In this case, you don't have to mess with a specular. What a specular does is it controls what parts of the mesh are shiny. And since it's hair, you're kind of simulating that with the texture anyway. You can see, like, right here, it's like really shiny right here and really shiny down here. If it's not a complicated hair, like this one is just a square. There's no curls or waves or anything. You can most likely leave the specular alone if you find that, you know, you need to change the specular. It's really easy to make. That's like a case-by-case thing, though. It's not necessary every time. You don't really see a difference if you just change the length of the hair. You probably won't see any difference at all. Same goes for in the mesh tab. You select any of your details, and you click on this material, and then this little 3-dot. This is like some more data. Now, sometimes creators won't have any of this filled in, and basically what you're going to do is replace all of these with your texture. It's all the same thing. And all you're going to do is just click on Browse if it's not the same already, which it should be if they're a good creator and they're thorough. Otherwise, you're just going to browse to yours and then press OK. Because otherwise, if you're let's say if you go to edit and you go import every single time, it's going to add another copy of that file. Instead, it's referencing it now when you choose browse instead of import. And that way it keeps your file size down and it's easier on heavier machines. So people with slower computers can deal with the hair better than if you had way too many copies of the same texture. The normal map is also called the bump map. It gives a little bit more definition, like a 3D aspect, as if it wasn't already 3D enough. That's pretty complicated. You most likely won't have to mess with it at all if you're just changing the length of the hair. It should be already done. I mean, this one, I don't even know if this one has a really simple one, so I don't even need to mess with it. So I'm pretty much done. This was a really simple one. There are a select few creators who make your job really easy if you're just going to chop hair. Like Kazi always does a really thorough job of simple meshes, simple mapping, easy to do. So if you're going to do, try your first one, you should try a Kazi. That's what this one's a Kazi as well. There's a few new C meshes that are pretty similar to that. Like, they're pretty easy, but oh no, this is Reese, sorry. I don't think Reese hasn't done a whole lot of hair, but this one was really simple. So if you want to try one, try this one. It's Reese and Hair 1 or Hair N1. New C can be really hectic with their mapping, so you might find that one part of the mesh is longer than the other, and it's really annoying, and you have to mesh edit it, and that's for another day. It's a lot of work. Don't even bother with Peggy if you're gonna try chopping hair. Hers sometimes are a mess. Hers sometimes will crash TSRW repeatedly. They're sometimes huge. It's just, I don't even know. I try not to bother with Peggy unless I know it's a simple mesh. But if you're definitely trying for your first time, pick Kazi or pick a new C that is a straighter style. The updos are, I don't even know why you'd want to shorten an updo. But nothing that goes crazy with bangs and stuff, because they tend to, I don't know if it's a he or she, but they tend to map really weird, and it just comes out badly. So try for Kazi, or this Reese and Hair N1 is super easy to figure it out. And it came out pretty good. I don't need to do anything to it. You can also see they did the right morphs. Good job, Reese, good job. So this one's all ready to go, and when you're done, you just go to edit. If you want to do Sims 3 packs, which are horribly large in file size and taxing and hard to delete, however you may like to do them or have them, all you do is file, export to Sims 3 pack, and then it just be prompted for a name and stuff. Otherwise, to get a package, you go to edit, project contents. Takes forever to load because it's all of your data. Oh, of course. Okay, this will pop up. This is the most bane of my existence. This just means that you got a lot of crap going on and TSRW can't handle it. This happens a lot when you're dealing with custom content. The program just wasn't meant to handle some of these file sizes, so I try to ignore it. Don't send. You don't have to send. This is probably not going to work now, but always save your TSRW when you get a chance, because this will happen and you will pull your hair out because you'll have to keep importing all of your files. So you go to project contents and then export to package. Pretty straightforward. Well, it's not going to do it for me, but it would prompt you for your name, the name of the file, and all that stuff, and pretty sure you understand how to do that. You click OK, yeah. It's going to force close on me now. I can't save it. And it's going to ask me if I want to save it, but it won't actually work, so I'm not even going to bother. Okay, so that was basically it. Once you do that, you just zip it up and put it up on the internet, wherever you want to put it. And to make sure you take preview pictures, that's always important, because then people get to see, what you changed. Make sure you get one of every angle, if you can. I like to do, like, front, back, and, like, I don't know, 45-degree angle, whatever. So that is it. Oh, always make sure to give proper credit to your mesh maker, and if you're blatantly copying a texture or a control, because I know, like, I personally, I don't give a crap. Like, I try to do it, but I honestly forget, and it's just, I do so many of them, whatever. But some people get really offended when you don't do it, so just make sure you do that so you don't get anybody coming up to you and saying you're gonna get your blog deleted because you didn't put their name on something, okay? So, that is it. Feel free to contact me with questions. I will always try to help you. If you're having a really strange problem, take a screenshot and send it to me, and I will try my best to help you. And so that's it. And happy meshing.